This might be the last ride here in Wisconsin for today or this weekend. I think we're gonna have probably a few videos out from this weekend's riding. I think I got some good footage with some tripod shots. Got some good riding footage. Oh, she's damp in here, throwing water all over the place. See if you guys can see. But yeah, full at least a day and a half or so of riding on the new DRW A Arms, and I would say my initial reaction is they are awesome. The front end reacts totally different now compared to my 400EX long travel setup. And I guess for those of you that don't know or haven't followed my channel, haven't followed the build, didn't watch Mike Sabo's review or cover of mine, I went from a stock built Warrior, or stock rebuilt Warrior I should say, stock suspension, everything. I rode that for about a year, and then talking with guys, mainly Weston, on the forums, or not the forums, I guess, the Facebook pages. But did my research, and the 400EX American Star long travel arms, which American Star no longer makes, those were the best option, best upgrade you could do for the Warriors. Well, now that it's not an option, and currently the only aftermarket company that's making them at this moment is Full Flight, and those are just standard travel plus 2 Warrior A Arms, which are fine, which are good for 90% of people out there. But the 400EX was that much better for suspension and for ride and abilities, but it wasn't right geometry. Had some issues, but overall it was good. I rode it for like 2 years, 2.5 years or so. I had 2 trips at the dunes, a couple trips down to Badlands, like 3 I think. And for all regular general purposes, it works awesome. But the new A-Arms, the new DRW built long travel, they have the correct geometry compared to the 400. So the front end reacts a lot better. I can roll into it and the front end points exactly where I have it, and the rear end now just wants to hook and go. Before, I mean, I could go into corners, I could slide and everything just fine, but the biggest thing is, like, the rear end would kind of jump, would kind of chop regardless. If you were hard on the throttle or just kind of rolling into it, didn't matter. The back end would kind of chop and kind of skip, and you'd have to really fight the front end to really get it to come around and do what you want. You know, it wasn't a smooth transition in or out of the corners. Now it does exactly what I want it to do. The front end just kind of points and then that rear end just slides around, comes around, hooks and goes. So much nicer than it did prior. Without, you know, honestly riding it, you guys just got to take my word for it. But there should be a few of you guys, once Weston gets these arms going as far as the build process, he should have some of these available, or a few sets available, so you guys will understand what I'm talking about. Much nicer now. The rear end stays way more planted. The front end stays way more planted. My biggest thing, I guess, with the 400EX compared to this, just functionality, how the suspension moves. Okay, so with the 400EX, hopefully I'm not yelling too much for you guys, but so the 400EX suspension, if you would drop the suspension completely, like do a full sag on the suspension, lift the front end up, whatever, the front wheels would toe in, and then you gotta fight with it when it comes down and compresses. Now I don't have to do that at all because it's functioning like a front end's supposed to. But if you watch Tyrese's Oklahoma video, he's the king of getting rear shots. And there's a couple of shots where I'm behind him and you can see my machine going over whoops, and the front end just dances all over the place. Now it really doesn't do that, which is so much nicer. And I do have some tripod shots of me going over one of the little single hits I got on the track out on the field, and you should be able to see what I'm talking about on that. With the front end, as far as it not cocking in like that. So fun in here. See if you guys can see, probably not. legitimately now can't wait to get my stabilizer back on here. Now that the front end's not so damn twitchy, oh my goodness, it's so nice to come over those chop and to just keep planting and eating. Kind of talked out. I'm not sure what more I can say other than I'm very, very happy with this suspension.